Good morning, Mom. Good morning, classmates. I am Marvin Gultiakugay. So, here's a quick review about our report, The Bronze Age. The Bronze Age marked the first time humans started to work with metal. Bronze tools and weapons soon replaced earlier stone versions. Ancient Sumerians in the Middle East may have been the first people to enter the Bronze Age. Humans made many technological advances during the Bronze Age, including the first writing systems and the invention of the wheel, in the Middle East and parts of Asia. The Bronze Age lasted from roughly 3300 to 1200 BC, ending abruptly with the nearly simultaneous collapse of several prominent Bronze Age civilizations. Today, we will witness about the history of the Bronze Age. So sit back, relax, and enjoy while learning. So let's proceed to the first reporter, the rise of Mesopotamia.
The rise of Mesopotamia began about 3000 BC in the land of Twin River founded by the Sumerians. They settled in that region because of its uniquely fertile soil, which they began farming, and during that time they don't have an central authority, they only have a city-states, and each city-states belong to god or goddess who appointed a priest chief to become the representative, and that's when the temple economy arose. By 2000 BC, the Sumerian cities to the south had been conquered by the Semitic tribes from central Mesopotamia. But despite of that military conquest, the latter assimilated to the most elements of Sumerian civilization. There were certain elements that have been changed to Sumerian society, but the rise of powerful military autocracies could only secure Mesopotamia from invasion.
In the rise of Egypt, Egypt is a dependent which is established its own water province, an onion of irrigation and drainage units. Before the prehistoric time 2000 BC, the ancient Egyptian, the pharaoh, were both the heads of state and religious leader of their people who ruled the province of the land. And also, the Egypt reacted by the establishing military outposts in the Palestine and Syria to avoid the repetition of such national disaster. Egyptian also shipping with up the Nile or sail south along the Red Sea coast to obtain the African and South Arabian products.
During Bronze Age, education wasn't that well established like what we have right now, since the only form of education before was temple school, and those who were to become clerks, officials, and priests learned to read and write. And later on, they were initiated into various fields of knowledge and became a class of scribes. In this time also, both countries were taught about the order of things as established by the gods in the beginning, in connection to what those schools before taught to their pupils, talking about religious mysteries and other such knowledge restricted to their group. Specifically, mathematics consisted mainly simple computation involving conversion of standard measurements or weights and computation of areas and volumes of various geometrical figures and bodies. And the knowledge that those who was given the chance to enter to such schools before was able to reach and accumulated by some craftsmen every time those people submit their projects to the scrutiny and advice of learned bodies of priests who formed advisory boards in the town of Egypt and Mesopotamia.
Good day everyone, I am Shinami Kulanag and today I'll discuss about rules of craftsmen. What is craftsman by the way? From the word crafts and man, the one who creates or performs with skills or dexterity, especially in making arts. Craftsmen in ancient Egypt were usually trained and also skilled laborers. They were often well respected in community and had a comfortable lifestyle. Most craftsmen worked in workshops with other craftsmen. Egyptian craftsmen created protective amulets, tomb paintings, magical enchantments on papyrus, funeral jars, painted pottery to hold nourishment, pottery figures, painted scenes, cartouches, hieroglyphics, ivory graves, goods, protective weapons, boats and barks, and other goods that help to protect and continue their life.
Waterworks for irrigation in water supply for cities. The supply of water is unpredictable, for some are experiencing the lacking, while the others are having problem with flooding that caused by the river. In this dilemma, people created the dikes and irrigation canals for the water of river to smoothly flow directly to the farmlands. By this, the flooding will be controlled and the farmers will be at ease. This method is considered as the most beneficial of all. On the other hand, cities' main supply of water are the wells and springs, but then problems also arises in their main source. For instance, in well, as time goes by, the well will also go deeper in terms of its ground surface. The reason why in 691 BC, the Assyrian king created the first long-distance water supply that was called dam. Also, his other reason is to water the plant to the palace of where he is living.
In Bronze Age, the processing of foodstuffs produced in irrigated gardens and farms involved crushing, pressing, and grinding operations for which several devices were invented. Around 3000 BC, Egyptians invented a juicer extracted for olives and grapes called the bag press and innovated in an easy way, and they call it the beam press. As you can see in the screen, this is the picture of the beam press, and later to become the major device of extracting juice from grapes and oil from olives, and was invented in the ancient world about 1500. Grinding grain to make flour in Egypt before 1500 BC, the most common milling device was the saddle quern. Saddle querns was developed later, and the application of the small rotary querns went far beyond grinding cereals, and some have been found which were used in grinding color stones to obtain colors for decorative purposes. As you can see in the screen, this is the picture of the saddle quern that Egypt uses to grinding grain and some stones to obtain colors for decorative purposes for their foods and for their other stuffs. Alcoholic beverages were made by fermentation in both Egypt and Mesopotamia. For aromatic herbs were added in some cases. Noblemen produced vintage wines, and the wines had to be consumed within a year or so. Back in Egypt, only rich men can drink wine before, and the jars were closed with a straw plug sealed with clay. Stronger drinks were concocted by adding sugar in the form of honey.
During Bronze Age, people traveled huge distances to trade raw materials and any objects used for some businesses. In Bronze Age, it is more efficient to travel in water than moving bulk of materials in land, for the reason that this time, roads are not yet well constructed and developed. Transporting of goods through ships is the most applicable, even though wheeled bicycles are already invented, like chariots drawn by oxen that they used for battlefield. And during 1500 BC, Egyptian armies adopted horse-drawn war chariots. And also, during this Bronze Age, they starting to construct some bridges to connect cities for faster and easier transferring of goods.
The building arts. Bricks and stone are the primary building materials when the time of Bronze Age. These two materials took different courses in the two countries, which is Mesopotamia and Egypt, since timber material was scarce in these countries. Mesopotamian could build monumental structures. Kiln-baked bricks were expensive and strong enough that could be projected procedure known as corbelling. Some are built with mud bricks and with baked bricks like a shrine in Babylon. Natural stone played only a small part in Mesopotamia, so that Egypt developed the use of natural stone in architecture. Building stone started with a wall and ceremonial buildings encircling the pyramid of King Zoser at Saqqara during 2600 BC. The tombs of pharaohs and the Great Pyramid of King Khufu are the structures that uses limestone blocks and natural stones.
What is the importance of metallurgy? Metallurgy is important in industry. It supplies metallic material with special properties for application in many fields. The ability of metals to alter the wealth, power, and culture of societies is so profound that the Bronze Age and the Iron Age label distinct eras in human development. Metallurgy is the current information age, possible and continues to shape our lives. The uses of metallurgy is concerned with the production of metallic components used for consumer or engineering products. According to the article that I read, the benefits of metallurgy is permits a wide variety of alloys system produced good surface. This involves alloys, shaping, heat treatment, and surface treatment of products.
The Bronze Age started in the 3rd millennium BC, and it brought a great advancement to the world. The tools and the weapons of the day were soon made stronger and more durable. This change allowed for a population increase since farming and hunting became more efficient and could support more people. That's why Bronze Age was so important to us. And that's the end of our discussion. We hope that you've learned a lot from our topic. So, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.